everyone. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? How are we doing tonight? How you doing? Oh, hold on. I just realized TikTok couldn't hear me. Hello, everybody. Hello. How you doing? I hope you can hear me now. I know I had some audio issues yesterday after I did a little reviewing. Oy vey. But that's not why we're here today. No. So, let me go ahead and get this set up on the Twitch, the TikTok side. Bleh. I'm gonna turn this off for Twitch. Doing good. Had a very productive day, which I will get into in just a moment here. So let me see here. Does it work? It should be set up as the same thing. Okay, cool. Poggers. Alright. New account? Well, welcome to TikTok. I hope you're having a good time over here. We like to vibe over here. Today is a vibe day. If I look over to the right, or I guess it's to my left, your right now, it's because I'm looking at chat. I had to move it for today. So, why don't I give y'all a little explanation of what is happening today, as you may have seen with the title here. You may be wondering, Dakara, what's the Monster Mash? Are you talking about that song? No, I'm not talking about that song, actually. So you see, the other day, I made a funky little dragon, which I had called Kareshi. Let me see if I can pull up a little photo here of Kareshi, if I saved him. There we go, yes. Yes, so this was Kareshi I made the other day. I got bored. I wanted to try and, push my little, creature creation skills to the limit. Or maybe not the limit, but I wanted to make a creature. It'd been a while since I made a creature besides the Astralound. Name still in progress. So, I looked up a prompt because I had no inspiration. And I follow a little thing called Daily Spit Paint. Some of you may be familiar with this. Hang on a second. I need a chapstick. I forgot to bring it. Oopsies. Ugh. Give me a moment. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, you may be familiar with something called Daily Spit Paint. My fellow artists in the chat. If not, don't worry, that's okay. Daily Spit Paint is essentially like, well, it's a daily thing where they give you 4 different prompts, and it's your job to make something based on those prompts. And I was looking through the Daily Spit Paint on Facebook for a hot minute. I was like, man, I need some inspiration. I'm just not feeling it lately. And I saw this one called Dying Sun. And I was like, oh, I want to make a monster based on that. And that is where Kareshi came in, which is he is a solar dragon, specifically a dragon who feeds off the energy of stars. And yeah. So I was like, you know what? I just thought of something. It's the Halloween times. It's the spooky months. Why don't we make monsters? More specifically, why don't we do the Monster Mash? As in, creating our own monster based on previous monsters. Oh, wait, why is it not? Oh, I see. Hold on. Un momento. There we go, TikTok. Now you can see what I'm talking about. So, boom. I asked around on various social medias for some monsters, as well as filling in the gaps with some of my own that I was thinking of. So yeah, let's try and mash some monsters together to see if we can make a whole new monster and test my skills here to see if I can actually, make a monster that looks good besides just like, oh my god, it's just the Mothman with like lizard skin. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 monsters here. I'm going to smash them together as best I can, try to make them cohesive. And we shall decide what this new monster is going to be called. So let's get straight into it. Monster numero uno. And by the way, if you want to add monsters to this list while I'm doing this, go ahead. Oh boy, we're starting off strong. Starting off strong today. Alright. Xenomorph. This is going to be interesting. I wonder how I'm going to combine something with this. So we're just going to hide Xenomorph. I'm going to try and not do repeats if I can. I would ideally like to not do that. And what is Xenomorph being combined with? Oh my god. Okay. This is already starting off interesting. Xenomorph and the Mothman. Oh boy. Oh geez. Okay. Man, they're already getting my gears turning here. So let's pull up some images. Xenomorph, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Xenomorph, is an alien from, well, it's from Alien. It is the alien from Alien. And the Xenomorph that I'm thinking of, that I'm going to specifically be using in this case, because I know there's like, you know, the Xenomorph can really change its morphology based on whatever it mixes with. But I'm going to try my best to implement elements from I believe it's this one here, the classic, like, humanoid-looking Xenomorph that we're probably all pretty familiar with. And then, of course, we have the Mothman. The Mothman, I've seen various interpretations. Some of them are just like this one here. This is probably the classic Mothman, as in, like, a hairy dude with bird wings. I'd say they're more like bird wings. Or, you know, this one's a little more moth-ish. Of course, you have the statue where everybody likes to, you know, put money between the butt cheeks. If you haven't heard about that, yeah, people like to put money between Mothman's butt cheeks. So, I think I'm gonna try to go more with, like, a buggy-ish style of Mothman. I feel like I could do something interesting with, like, the Xenomorph, because the Xenomorph has these interesting little protrusions on its back already. So I feel like I could probably just stretch them out into wings. Maybe, you know, give the Mothman those weird Xenomorphy legs, the deadly tail. Definitely some antenna to really include that, like, mothiness, because, you know, the Xenomorph is kind of weird like that. So let's see what we can do here with this concept of the Xenomorph and a Mothman. Let me go ahead. We gotta start with a pose, obviously. And let me go ahead and switch everything back here. So turn that off. We're gonna turn that off. There we go. Alright. Xenomorph and the Mothman. Okay. Sketches. Gotta think of the sketch first, so. Because from what I see here, Xenomorph doesn't have too much of a neck, so let's see. I really want to be able to, like, you know, show that Xenomorph-ish head. I'm gonna keep it kind of small, I think, is what I'm gonna do. I want to try and include, like, the trademarks of these creatures that, you know, will help sell to you that this is, like, you know, the Xenomorph. I know the Xenomorph itself normally has no eyes. At least from what I've seen of the Xenomorph, it usually has no eyes. But, you know, it's Mothman. So we gotta include, like, those red eyes somehow. I gotta look up a pose. I kind of want it flying, like, you know, because it's Mothman. If we're combining it with Mothman, it's gotta be flying somehow. Here, I'm gonna take a quick look here at some different poses I have saved in my Pinterest. Shout out to my Pinterest. I keep wanting to say Pinterest. Jeez. Alright. Where is it? Where is it? That's animation. I don't want animation. I want art. I keep my Pinterest categorized into different things. Animation is its whole own section. Art is, like, its own. Ooh, I think I found, like, the perfect pose. Okay. So. I'm gonna start off with a pretty strong profile here. Now, I'm gonna try and keep its neck really small. I don't know, because, like, in all the interpretations I've seen, it doesn't look like Xenomorph has much of a neck, or if it does, it's very hidden. And neither does Mothman, so we're gonna try to keep the neck, like, incredibly short, or even, you know, non-existent. I'm just gonna make it a really, really short neck. So, let's see here. It's probably gonna look very humanoid in the beginning. That's okay. I mean, Xenomorph and, well, the Mothman are pretty humanoid already. I mean, it is called the Mothman, man, you know? So let me do this. Let me scoot his tum-tum in. Let's get a arm here. Gonna be the other arm here. Okay, perfect. Now, as for the xenomorphish parts, right? I want one leg like so. Actually, I think I want this leg more down. Like so. It's kind of like I'm trying to pose it as if it's on like a spire based on this this piece here. Okay. So we've got the basics of the pose. Now comes the hard part of like combining it, because I don't know how Xenomorph sees. Let me look it up here, because I'm actually not too familiar with Xenomorph. Okay, so it looks like, generally speaking, based on this image I'm seeing here, is Xenomorph doesn't have eyes, but instead has echolocation. Now the question is, like, oh wait, I might have an idea to keep like that eyeless Xenomorph head, but still add like the classic red eyes of the Mothman. Or well, maybe classic red eye is more appropriate to what I'm thinking here. So let's go ahead. We're gonna zoom in here a little bit. We're gonna take this down. We're gonna start building on top of it. So, based on the pose I'm looking at here, the head is facing like, I'm gonna make a human head first so I can at least see like what I'm doing with this. Because in the human head, it's posed kind of like that. So it is kind of like a side view. So if we do that, let's add that Xenomorph head on the top of it. Xenomorph-ish head. No, that's not quite right. Yeah. I kind of want to make him, like, more angular, because, like, this Xenomorph is going to be more aerodynamic than the current one. I should probably actually bring this jaw in a little bit more. And what I want to do is kind of like right up here. I plan on making like Xenomorph have this like, I don't know if I'm going to color this, by the way, just so everybody's not wondering, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is kind of make Xenomorph here have like a red glowing spot like right on its forehead where the echolocation thing usually is. Because I see in some cases, like Xenomorph has this hard outer shell on its head. Now I think, if I remember right, yes, spooky music indeed. Now if I remember right, Xenomorph in the original Alien doesn't really have this hard case. Now it might, and I'm just silly goofy, but I'm gonna kind of do like that, like the hard case idea, but it's gonna glow in the front and like taper off as it goes back. Now, as for the teeth, I want to keep the teeth the same, but I want to add like a mothish mouth, or like an insectoid mouth. I could also, you know, I might also add some remnants of the Mothman statue here and give him like a sort of beak, because I know the Mothman statue has a beak to it. Don't ask me why he does, but he do. Let's add a little bit of the cheek flare of the statue too, why not? I'm gonna add some of the fangs. I would like to make him a little more insectoid, if I can. Granted, a lot of Mothman, other than the statue itself, most of the Mothman images that I'm finding here do not have a mouth. Like, Mothman isn't usually depicted with a mouth. Or, you know what? Hold on, I have an idea. I spelled mouth wrong. Mouth. That is what I'm looking for. So, if we add... like, because Xenomorph already has, like, the weird inner mouth thing, but what if I just straight up make it a proboscis? What if we just give him a proboscis? Like a moth, you know? Like, I think that would be pretty darn sick, honestly. So we'll give our moth creature a funky little Hey, yo, is that Xenomorph? Yes, you are well, partially correct, Juno. I am trying my best to combine the Xenomorph with the Mothman. So we're trying to work out, like, I want to make this a unique creature, but I want this to, you know, still read as the Xenomorph and as the Mothman, like, so you know where they're coming from. So I have an idea of I'm just gonna give him a proboscis-y tongue. It's probably just gonna look more like a whip tongue than anything else, but, you know. The question is, watching Sam and Colby, so you were live inside of Botpin. Hey, nice. What's Sam and Colby? I am not familiar with that. All right, let me give the head a little more length to it. Nah, make the tongue longer. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, you freaky. Hold on. Xenomorph types, because I want to see. Because, like, I know there's the face hugger, obviously, but I gotta know, like, yeah, okay, there are, like, Xeno dogs. Okay. Xenomorphs have really long tongues. No, I don't think they have very long tongues at all. Because what they have is they have, like, a mouth in their mouth. Now, granted, I'm trying to make our Xenomorph here, like, more reminiscent of the classic Xenomorph and not, like, any other ones, like the Neomorphs, the Empress, any of that stuff. But I'm worried about making his head too long, you know? Because, like, he's supposed to be here for flight. Maybe I think that's a decent length. That tells you it's Xenomorph, but not so long. Yeah, like the giant black beanhead ones, like the OG, like 1986 Aliens Xenomorph. That's the kind I'm referencing right now. Now, can I use some stuff from it? You know, other aliens? Yeah, I guess. There's nothing really stopping me, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm trying to keep things mostly to their classics if I can. At least with the Xenomorph, I want to keep it to the classic. Now, the Mothman, I'm not going with, like, the OG, like, faceless, not bug-winged, like, what's the word, like, bat-winged or bird-winged version. I'm going for, like, I want to give him some more insectoid look, so let me go ahead and, give him a shoulder. Get the elbow. So let's get the hand here. Very humanoid. A guy incinerate a fly while welding on you. I almost thought you said incarnate, like reincarnate. I was like, what did he just? Did this man just bring a fucking fly back from the dead? Okay, it looks like they've got like 3 fleas. Alright. Listen, man, I don't know, right? I think, honestly... Well, hold on, let me make the, 3 dum-dum-dums. I mean... I don't know, bro. I don't know what you just said, bro. Alright? I'm just out here trying to art, man. I'm just... I hope I'm getting enough. I'm worried I'm getting, like, too much Xenomorph and not enough Mothman. I should make him fuzzier. A fuzzy Xenomorph. Say, I don't know how to make a, like, I don't know how to feel about a fuzzy Xenomorph, you know? Like, Xenomorph being fuzzy is just not what I think of when I think of Xenomorph. But, like, I have to do it because, like, the Mothman is usually fuzzy. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead, we'll get the Xenomorph leg to begin. Go back to that. Xenomorph has, like, really slender legs, honestly. I'm kind of always surprised that, like, Xenomorph's legs are so slender. You wouldn't think that for, like, such a powerful creature, but yeah, they like, looking at their morphology here, their knees are, like, or their legs are, like, really thin. Alright, let's go ahead. I'm gonna try to give, like, I want to keep the thinness of the legs, but I think that'll kind of work out in my favor because, like, insects usually have really thin legs. So that's gonna work out beautifully, honestly. Okay. Go give the Xenomorph its next arm. I guess I know exactly what I'm going to name this thing once we're done. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and add some more. It's gonna have some more muscles. Arm is way too thin compared to the other arm. Also, this bicep looks weird. There we go. There we go. That's exactly what I was thinking. How did you read my mind? Oh my goodness. The Xenomoth. You are correct. Bury the Xenomoth! Why Barry? Cause like are you talking like Barry B as in like from god damn it, what's the movie called? I'm drawing a blank right now. Barry B. Benson from the Bee Movie. The Bee Movie. That's the one. I knew I'd get it eventually. God, this thing is gonna be disgusting, and I hate it. You like jazz? Nah, you don't like jazz? Oh my god. You like rock? You know what? That's understandable. I respect that. I used to not like jazz as much, but then I joined a jazz band in high school, and you know, things happen. Okay, so let me take a look here at Mothman. I want to take a look at some of his like tootsies if I can find some. I need to see Mothman's grippers. Oh, I see. Now I know the Mothman statue, like a lot of them have like talons. The interpretations I see of Mothman usually have like talons of some kind, so I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Because Xenomorph already has talons, but like I really want to add like talons, you know, if I can. I see one interpretation of Mothman has like 2 fingers or 2 toes, but like 3 fingers. So Mothman having like you're cooking nuggies right now, not in front of my salad. I might just do oh that's a cute little Mothman. I might just do like Mothman with some like curled toes or something. I think I like the idea of Mothman only having 2 toes, so I think that's what I'm gonna settle for. I think that just sounds fun, you know? Something about Mothman only having Xenomorph only having 2 toes. Twinkle Toes! Yeah, Twinkle Toes looking ass up in here. Make them longer, make them grippier. We're here for those toes, baby. There we go. Mothman toes. Xenomorph toes. You know, that's what we came here for, am I right, people? Alright. Alright, next step for the Mothman. He needs him antennae. So I think I'm gonna go with the classic moth thing, and I'm gonna give him like the really big, like, well, I don't know how feathery I should get, because like it's Xenomorph, you know what I mean? And I don't know of any Xenomorph that has like antennae. I guess there's like horns. There's one version of the Xenomorph I see that has like a ridged horn-like structures on the side of its head. So I guess, like, I could theoretically stretch those out into, like, antennae-esque appendages. Like so. Because, like I said, we gotta try and preserve... Because I'm getting a little too Xenomorphy here and not enough mothy. I think once I get the wings, the mothiness will come out a little bit more, but I think it needs more fuzzies. Make him fuzzier. Give him more fuzz. Yo, is that Nax over here? Well, we're sort of drawing Xenomorph. We're drawing a combination of Xenomorph with the Mothman, as me and Juno from TikTok have now dubbed it the Xenomoth. So, behold my abomination. His name is Barry. Yes. Our friend Juno here has decided to name him Barry the Xenomoth. So there we go. Xenomoth, I'm seated. Yeah, you've just joined in for the Monster Mash. So yeah, today's whole stream is about taking monsters, whether they be classic or otherwise, and mashing them together to create abominations. Yeah, I did the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. I honestly, besides this lo-fi that we're listening to right now, I was seriously considering making, like, trying to find, like, an instrumental version of the Monster Mash and just play that for the duration of the stream. But then I realized I'd probably get copyrighted even with the instrumental version. So I decided to not do that. I don't need to risk a copyright strike. Now here comes the fun part, right? The tail. Because Mothman doesn't have a tail, you know? Like, generally speaking, I've never seen a Mothman concept with a tail. Now, Xenomorph does have a tail. As we all know, it's very spiky. But how just... Oh, wait, I thought of a brilliant idea. Now, this is kind of gonna make him a little more bee-esque, I suppose, than nothing more scary for Halloween than a DMCA. Huh. Now, this might make him look a little more like wasp-ish compared to moth-ish, but I'm kind of going for like clear-winged moth, like hawk moth, I think is the word. Basically, I want to make the tail partially like the big bulbousy thing that, you know, most moths have. I think that will be a cool way to incorporate the tail as part of the Xenomorph. So I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna still give it a tail, but like the beginning part is going to be very bulbous and yeah, like the I think it's the thorax is what I'm thinking of for insects. Correct me if I'm wrong, insect enthusiast, but I'm pretty sure I'm drawing like the thorax. And then we can add on the classic Xenomorph, like spiky barbed tail. Yeah. It's kind of weird giving it like a thorax, but I didn't want to give it like a direct spike because I was worried if I did that it's gonna look too like wasp-like and not moth-like. Granted, I don't think this is quite helping either, but I think it's better than nothing. I think it's definitely coming to look more moth-ish than I was expecting, and I'm really glad about that because I really want to try and sell the moth aspects of this creature. Now comes the fun part. So you guys may remember that Xenomorph has those like tubey things that are already on its body. So I'm essentially just going to take those tubey things and turn them into the membrane of its wings. So let's go ahead and do that. I gotta go look back at Xenomorph's fucking spoobicles. Spear, whatever you want to call them. Did the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. It was a Xenomorph smash. There we go. We're go. My weird little fucked up Xenomorph concept is coming to light. We still gotta add, like, it's gotta have the little holes on it that Xenomorph already has. From its spherical tube things. Hold on. I gotta go look back at the tube thing again. Yeah, it's kind of like a zigzag, right? Hang on. I'm gonna actually, you know, I'm keeping that first one. Let me redo these two. I didn't quite get the tubiness that I want, so. So they gotta still angle upward. There we go. There we go. I think that's a little better looking. Still adds, like, that same xenomorphy flair to it. Now we're gonna take from this shoulder. Add like that. And then this one is actually going to go the opposite direction. So yeah. Let's do that. I like that. Okay, next tube. Still gonna be curved up down here, but just like it's just angled in a different way. Nice. Nice. Okay, perfect. You did the mash. You did the monster mash. The monster mash is a xenomorph smash. Some holes to the wings. I think that really adds to the bioorganic nature of it. What a concept to behold, indeed. The Xenomorph. I'm also gonna warn you guys, I think this stream is gonna be a little shorter today than I normally do, just because I have had a very long day of doing stuff. And you know how that goes. You get tired and all that. So it might be a 2-hour stream. I will see how my energy feels, but I just want to give y'all a forewarning in case I'm like, I might call it, you know. I think actually what I need to do is this arm needs to go up here more. Yeah. All right. Let me add a little bit more xenomorphy look to it. shagginess. Because he's supposed to be kind of fuzzy, you know? I'm gonna keep the legs, the little, like, bitties off the legs. I know there's supposed to be, like, leg spikies I see on the Xenomorph on his, like, I don't know what you call that, his heel? His... Oh, I guess it's called a tibial spur. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna pretend he doesn't have one. There is no tibial spur on this one, so... yeah. Behold the first concept of the evening. Xenomoth. Alright, I think that's a pretty good sketch for right now. We'll keep... We'll move Xenomoth off to the side for now. We'll just hide him. Lock him up. So we can start on the next concept. Alright, we have one sketch down. Let me pull up the... close out these references here, go back to the picker wheel, and we shall construct a monster anew. So, bam, and bam. Let's see what's next up on the chopping block. Monster number 1. Oh man, I'm excited for this one, the Jersey Devil. Okay, we got 2 cryptids tonight. Jersey Devil. Jersey Devil's one of my favorite cryptids. Yeah. Now what are we gonna combine the Jersey Devil with? Okay, so we're hiding the Jersey. Next monster to mash our Jersey Devil with. Oh, a siren! Oh, man. Okay, they're really giving me some bangers tonight. Okay. Alright. Our choices are locked in. The Jersey Devil and a siren. Now, this is going to be an interesting concept. Actually, you know what? Let me pull these back up here. We're gonna look up some of these things here. So hold on. So let me pull these windows back up. So Jersey Devil, for those of you who don't know, Jersey Devil is another winged creature for one, and it's basically like kind of like a goat demon man thing. The original sketch that I'm thinking of, like the sketch a lot of people are pretty familiar with, is probably this one here, this goofy ass looking motherfucker. He's got like a goat head and hooves, like a spiked tail, and leathery bat-like wings. So that's the Jersey Devil. A lot more commonly, like, they'll kind of switch the Jersey Devil out for like more of like a deer or a horsey head. Like, when you think of like the devil, or like, you know, how a lot of times they're depicting the devil with that like goat-like aesthetic, you're probably thinking of the Jersey Devil. But a lot of well-known ones now depict him with more like a deer-ish head. So I might try to strike a balance between the two. As for the siren, think mermaid, but like more evil. Now, sirens I've seen depicted as like, some are just straight up like people, you know, just like kind of uncanny valley spooky-ish, and some range into like becoming a lot more fish-like. Like a siren you might think of as kind of like this one. This one looks pretty humanoid, whereas like this one is, like, it's still pretty humanoid, but it's got a lot more fish elements. Sometimes they have, like, visible gills, pointy teeth, you know, fins and such, where, like, maybe their ears should be. There's a specific creature from D&D. I want to say it's like a Sahuagin? Sahuagin? I think is what I'm thinking of when I think of a siren. No, it's not quite. Not a Sahuagin, it's some shoot. D&D aquatic creatures. A Sahuagin is kind of like a fishman, but it's not a Sahuagin that I'm thinking of. It's something else that I think of when I think of a siren. It's this thing right here on the top. It's not a Kuatoa, that's a Harpy. Marrow. I think of Marrow when I think of a siren. This is a Marrow from D&D. Very fish-like. Because, like, there's these ones, too, kind of reek of siren. Because these are just merfolk. But, like, Marrow is, like, a twisted version of the merfolk. And that's my interpretation of a siren when I think of a siren. Is more fish-like than human-like. So, let me think on this here. So, we have a goat-like being mixed with a fish-like being. I think the bat-esque wings are still gonna work. I might make them a little more, like, fish finny, or, like, try to strike a balance between the two. So we gotta find another pose that's gonna work well with wings. Hold on. Oh, my Pinterest is having a moment here. Give me a second. Come on, Pinterest. The horns are gonna be interesting, because, like, one of the things that, like, really makes the Jersey Devil is the fact that, like, those horns are so noticeable. But since I'm combining it with something that's fish-like, horns are gonna be a little harder. Or at least they might look a little more out of place, because fish don't really have horns. Like, fish don't need horns. Unlike rams and deer and whatever else we have up here on the terrestrial side, you know? Like, fish and stuff, they have teeth. I have an interesting idea for the mouth, but first, I need a reference. Ooh, I think I know. Alright. Now, because it's going to be a flying creature, I'm going to give it a bean shape. It's going to look kind of like a bean. I really want it to be, like, kind of gaunt and disgusting. In a way. Like, I think something really cool would be, like, it's gotta be, you know, arched over, like, almost raptor-like. I really like the idea of this thing having, like, a raptor-like body. Or more animalistic than human. Since the Jersey Devil isn't superhuman looking, and I mean, the siren is, I can make it humanoid, but I don't know, I want to give it something freaky looking, especially because, like, you know, birds and all that, like, they need strong pectoral muscles, because, like, if thinking realistically here, not that I'm making a realistic creature, but thinking realistically, you know, the reason birds and stuff and bats have, like, really pronounced chests is because of their flight muscles. Like, they need to have a very strong point in which to pull their wings down from, like, so it's very important that their chests are pronounced, because the center point of their chest, it's called the rostrum, if you've ever seen a bird skeleton. They have, like, this big, like, almost blade down the center of their chest called the rostrum. And that's where all the wing muscles connect. To allow the bird to have, like, a maximum leverage to pull its wings down. Now, hold on, let me put that back. But just change, like, the angle of the face. Yeah. I like that. Now, as for the legs... I kind of want to make them almost like frog-like, so that way they're kind of like deer-ish, but not quite. Like, they'll still have some stronginess to them, but like, you know. And I want to give it, like, still, like, weird, like, animalistic, an animalistic pose. But I want it to feel like it could still leap at you, like, and still run on all fours. If it wanted to. Now, as for the wings, like... Because fish have fins, right? You know... And fins are not really, you know, conducive for flying. But I'd still like to, you know, give the element that, like, this thing could, take off. Oh, you know what? I know the perfect thing to look at. That has very, very fish-like wings, in a way. I'm gonna give it very similar wings to, I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I call it basil juice, but like basil geese or whatever, basil juice from Monster Hunter. So I think those wings are like the perfect shape for what I'm going for here. So there we go. So I think we've got a good body shape here to start off with. So let's, do you think fish think they're flying when they swim? I don't know. Maybe they do. It must be so confusing when they go to the surface. Hey, thank you for the likes, Uziel. I hope I said that right, Uziel. So let's start with the fleshing out of the stuff. Now, I want to give it, I think a really interesting face to give it, if I can manage it. I wish I knew what the fish is that it's based off of, but if you've ever seen Valhazak from Monster Hunter, I'm pulling up a lot of Monster Hunter. I'm kind of in that phase right now. But like a very like piranha-esque, like jutted out jaw kind of face, I think would be really sick for this thing. Like, try and keep the deer nose, but, like, add, like, a really weird fishiness to it, you know? Because I'm gonna go more of a deer-goat kind of look. Let me see, how does a goat face look? Like, let me look at a goat here. Because I'm used to the Jersey Devil being, like, a deer. Hold on. I know it was depicted in American Dragon. I want to see how American Dragon made it, because I think they also made it like a deer. Yeah, they made it more close to like a deer than a goat. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should I make it more like a goat or more like a deer? Because it could honestly go either way. I think I'll go with goat. I think I'll go with a goat face. If I can. Yeah, okay. So, if I do this... It actually kind of worked, too, because, like, you know, sea goats are kind of a thing. Let me take a look here at the piranha mouth. How do piranhas hold their mouth closed? How do these goofy ass little fuckers look? All right. Let's give it really massive front teeth here. want it to almost look like something you'd find in the deep sea. Like, really, really weird looking face. Here we go. Okay, now goat eyes. I want it to have a really pronounced brow as well. It's not gonna be quite goat-like in that regard, but I really like pronounced brows. Now, yeah, goats do and have the weird eyes. So I'm gonna keep that. As for the ears, because it's still gonna have ears, but I think I'm just gonna make them fin-like. They're more for show than for, like, actual hearing. Alright. And of course, since it is a goat, and I want to keep it streamlined, I'm just gonna give it very generic, like, back curling horns. Because there's no... I don't think there is any sort of fish that has horns. Or, well, I guess there are fish that technically have horns, but they're not really, like, horns per se. They just kind of vaguely look like horns. And most of them are pointed forward. I don't know. I might workshop those horns, but for now, I think I'm just going to keep them as is. Give it that, like, nice, sturdy chest I was talking about for flight. A weird, like, lumpy back. I kind of like how this thing is looking so far. It looks disgusting and I love it. I'm nailing this concept. So there's that. Give it a little bit of a tummy. Now since it's gonna have to stand upright, we're gonna give him a nice, juicy, thick tail. Gotta offset that balance somehow. I know I'm talking as if this is like a real creature, but it really could not be further from a real creature. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful creature. Give it some gills. Now, as for its legs, I gotta go look at a leg really quick here to see how it's gonna stand. I forget how like when a leg is pointing at the camera, like when you're squatting or kind of squatting, right? Like how does that look? Its legs have a specific way of like squishing when they're pointed towards the camera. I can't seem to find what I'm looking for. Wait, kind of better. That's pretty good. That's a pretty decent leg. Now what does My reference. Frog foot. Okay. I have an interesting idea. To try and, like, turn into his foot. Because, like, the Jersey Devil is a goat, essentially. At least that's what I'm basing mine off, is a goat. So, goat hoof. If I remember right, goats have, yes, they have, I believe it's called cloven feet. Where essentially their toesies split into, like, 2, technically 3 toesies. So I'm gonna do a wacky little concept for his tootsies. Once I get his legs the way I want them to be. So, he will still have toes. Just they're going to end in his hooves. Like so. Right? So, like, he'll still have the cloven toes. Just, there's going to be webs in them. They're going to be webbed cloven toes. And then I see this one goat has, like, a 3rd toe that I'm kind of into, so I'm gonna add that as well. And add another webbing between those 2 toes. So it's kind of amphibian-ish, kind of goat-ish. I just think that's a really neat concept of giving the Jersey Devil, like, webbed toes. Yeah. Those weird little webbed toesies. I think I gotta make his knees point down a little bit more. I think they're at least this knee anyway, is not covering up his thigh the way I want it to. So there we go. Okay. Alright, so you got his funky little web toes. Let's add the arms in. Like I said, I still want him to look like he could, you know, get down on all 4s and chase you. So that's something I'm going to try to incorporate in with his front limbs. So they'll still be, like, very gnarled and strange and weird. Go, and then add his weird cloven things. He just looks like such a creature, and I hit the wrong button. But he's such a creature, and I love him. This thing is disgusting. Ooh, look out, he's coming for ya. Ooh, the fish goat. Oh, he looks so gross. Alright, back to the Monster Hunter concept that I was looking for. Right. So he's gotta have his wings. course. Like I said, I'm gonna base them off of basil juice, basil geese, whatever you want to call him, from Monster Hunter. So it's gonna be very limey. And let me see here. I gotta look at a fish fin again. Fish fin. Because depending on the fin type, like if I'm doing a spiny dorsal, it's not really gonna have anything. But I think I really ought to add at least one outer piece to the edge of the wing here, kind of like what basil juice has, just so you can see that there is, you know, muscle to it. So there we go, and we're just gonna connect all these up, very webby, fin-like. Let me erase this. I'm gonna redo this again. This does not look correct. Ideally, if I want this to be something that could fly, try to think, because I kind of made his wings thin. I'm thinking I honestly just might make him like a non-flying dragon creature. Like, it'll still connect to his hip as if he were like a flying dragon, but I feel like the way his wings would be is like they're so vestigial, or like they've adapted so much for water living that like this creature no longer flies. Like it would still be capable of gliding, I think, but not true powered flight. Let's go ahead, connect all these up, and as such, like, this webbing in here will be very thin. I tend to think very realistically about my monsters, so if this all sounds like weird jargon to you, don't worry. This is not a test. You're not gonna have to remember, like, vestigial limbs versus, like, you know, non-vestigial limbs and all that good stuff. This is just how I think about my concepts when I'm creating them. Okay. Now that that is done, I think I'm kind of gonna give it an interesting, like, crocodilian type tail, in that, like, the tail is thicker and it doesn't actually have any like flippers or fins or whatever like you would think of for like a fish. Or, well, I don't know, cuz like maybe it would be better to at least give it like a small tail fin of some kind. Just to really sell the fact that this is partially a merfolk. Yeah, hold on. Let me look at like a fish's fish tail fin. Or you know what? Unique. I want to see like what some of the coolest fish tail fins look like. Oh, you know what? Let me look at well, first let me look at a piranha again. See what their tail fins look like. And then how about a barracuda? I kind of also gave it like a bit of a barracuda-ish face. Oh yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna go with like a barracuda tail. Okay, so let me switch this then. I'm gonna switch out how the tail ends. Gonna make it into this roundish shape. And the barracuda has a really interesting tail end, like this. So the Barracuda's tail ends like this. Yeah. I think we've pretty much got a creature concept here. Like, this is objectively a creature. Now the question is, what do we name our fucked up, like, mermaid goat demon? Because I don't know. Because, like, the Xenomoth already named itself. Like, that was a perfect name for the Xenomoth. But we've got Jersey Devil and a Siren. How do we name a Jersey Devil and a Siren? Because I guess I could name it something after, like, the Barracudas? No. I want to have a unique name. I'm trying to think. I think I'm thinking too literally with, like, trying to mishmash Jersey Devil and the Siren, but it doesn't need to have, like, a mishmash of their names, really. Jersey Devil and the Siren. Piranha, Barracuda, Goat, Thing. Guys, I'm drawing a blank with this. I'm having a really tough time. I did not think name. Hold on. I'm gonna do what I do in my time of need when I can't think of naming anything. I'm gonna stare at it. I think I got it. Now, I'm not 100% on this name, so if you come up with something better, please let me know. But I'm gonna call this the Abyssal Murgoat. I think it's better than just not giving it a name. So we have Xenomoth and Abyssal Murgoat. Alright. Alright. We have named him. We will put this concept away for now. I really like the Murgoat. I think it came out really good. Alright. I think I have enough energy in me for at least one more concept. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up. So, Wheel of Morality, tone, tell us the lesson that we should learn. Ooh, okay, interesting. I feel like this is gonna end up just being something wrapped in, like, you know, cloths. Okay, a mummy. And what's the next one? Oh, okay. And a false Hydra. Now this one I'm definitely gonna have to explain the false Hydra. So let's go over the monsters first. Okay. So the first one we have is, of course, the mummy. A lot of us know what a mummy is, I feel like. It's essentially it is the mummified corpse of a human, usually wrapped in these, I believe it's papyrus cloths that they use to help, preserve the body when it goes into the afterlife. Now, it does not have to be wrapped in cloths to necessarily be a mummy. That's just kind of a hallmark of the mummy, usually. But really any sort of, like, dried out husk can be a mummy. Like, this thing, it's not wrapped in cloths, but it is still a mummy because it has been preserved by drying out all of the fluids in it. So, I might add cloths, but, you know, it's not necessarily the case. I will think of it. Because it's essentially just like, a mummy is just essentially a really dried out zombie. Now that I think about it, you know? Alright, and then of course, this is a fan, like, a fan creation, essentially, of, the Hydra in D&D. The False Hydra is a particularly nasty creation. Well, for one, most depictions of the False Hydra have it having, like, essentially fleshy, human-like heads. It doesn't look really monstrous in the sense of, like, it's a Hydra like a lizard. But the False Hydra's real scariness comes in its power. So basically, the False Hydra, its power is to make you forget. So there's a special power it uses. I'm trying to find, like, the an actual, like, stat block here. This might not be the official stat block, but anyway. Yeah, its thing is this discordant song here. Basically, while the False Hydra sings, you cannot see or hear of the Hydra, and anything you remember about it is essentially gone. It's suppressed. And, like, that's what makes the False Hydra so scary, is just the fact that, like, it could literally be right in front of you. You could have seen it. But when it starts singing, you just forget that it's there. And, like, I've heard stories of, like, you know, adventurers rolling up into a town that, like, you know, is very large and has lots of houses, but the amount of people living in that town does not match up with the amount of houses seen. And, yeah. Now, the question is how to build the False Hydra, because, like, there's many different interpretations, but most of them seem to be like this humanoid face, noseless person for the False Hydra. Almost worm-like in a way. I think I want to preserve that. Because I like the False Hydra not having the typical look of a normal Hydra. And I think that will really add to, like, the mummy look to it. Because this is going to essentially be, like, a really gaunt, disgusting creature. I wonder, hold on, let me go look at the, I don't know if the Goblin Punch here, I think, is the original one, this blog spot. False Hydra. They spontaneously originate as undifferentiated masses of flesh, potatoes that sprout from no seed. So yeah. It looks like False Hydras are essentially just a mass of people. And they seem to have, like, various limbs, mounds, like, no discernible end. They just kind of are a mound of flesh. Ugh. I'm gonna have to figure out, like... Ooh. Okay. Okay. I think I got some ideas on how to make this thing disgusting. So first of all, I need a human skull. Alright, let me turn back to the art now. Let's actually get into the real drawing now that we've gone over the origins of this abomination. And, can really get into it. I'm gonna kind of, like, morph it a little bit in that, like, you know, I want it to look humanoid, but not fully. False Hydra. Let me pull up the images of the False Hydra again. It's basically, yeah, it's kind of just a mound of flesh. It's kind of disgusting, honestly. This is gonna be so nasty. This is gonna be such a nasty, disgusting creature. I think it'll be easier for me if I just give it a tail of some kind. So let's make our disgusting creature. I'm gonna give it, like, at least 5 heads, I think will be fun. I think that will be enough, plenty of heads to indicate that this creature does not fuck around. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now comes the hardest part here, so. Get each of the heads. In their respective spots. I'm gonna move the base over a little bit and get that there. Now, it's gonna be humanoid, so. Because if this is its upper body here, I want. Something like. Either clutching the ground or, like, getting ready to move. Yeah. I might give it some more arms and stuff, but, like, for right now, I think this is a decent fit. So, let's try and get the humanoid skull, because I really like this image that, like, 1D6chan, from 1D6chan, I think that is, or Mira has, I'm not sure. But where it's like a human skull, but, like, no normal nose. Human skull angles. Is there like a thing? Yeah, 3D model. Okay, perfect. It's exactly what I need for this. Okay, so if I'm gonna whoop. Oh, dang it. Can't look at all angles. Human skull 3D model? Let's do that. Can I look at it? How about this one? Anatomy tool? Let's try that. Let's give this one a shot, shall we? Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Oh, baby. Yeah, I can't look at it from whatever angle I want. Dang you! I want to see all the angles. Yarsh darn it. Alright, let's try this one then. This neurosurgical atlas? Does that have 3D model? Somebody give me a 3D model. Oh, perhaps. Ah! This is pain. I just want a human skull. This sounds so weird. I'm just like, give me a human skull right now. Come on. Human skull. Like, it doesn't even need to be a perfect human skull. I just need a human skull. I can rotate and look around. Sorry, this model can't be displayed. Sketchfab, what are you doing? Or I guess you're not Sketchfab anymore. You're Fab now. I think if I remember right, they changed it. How about this one? Can I look at this human skull? Something went... Okay. Once again, I am not allowed to rotate it at all. Okay. Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go with this one and try... That's the one I can't use. I forgot. Sure, you know what? We're gonna go with this and try it because I just want to get to sketching. So let's try. That's pretty good. Okay, okay. I think I can work with this. Oh, I actually know what's a great tool for this. Boxes. Boxes are a great tool for drawing heads, surprisingly. This will help me define the planes of the face. Beautiful. When in doubt, use boxes. We love boxes! Alright. Now let's try this again. But with human skull. Seriously, how hard is it to find a human skull that you can rotate at any angle? Like, I thought it would be fairly easy, all things considered, but apparently not. You know, it's even funnier, like, looking at this creature because, it's already pretty darn gaunt. Like, I don't know how to make this thing any more or less gaunt than most of the images already make it, without just straight up making it like essentially a skeleton. I am totally not following the planes that I gave myself at all. Is the cheekbones. Okay. This is really hard, surprisingly. I just wish I could find like a 3D model that I could just like throw on these things, you know? That's really just what I need, is just a 3D model. Alright, there we go. Let's give it some creepiness. Like, as if it's not already creepy enough, like, it just has no friggin' anything. It just is like a skeleton, essentially. I know this is supposed to be a mummy right now, but, like, it's just a skeleton. At least right now it is. I would give it wrinkles, but really, since it's going to be, like, you know, dried up and decayed, like, I can't really do that, because then it wouldn't have, you know, any of the stuff that makes it a mummy. You know what I mean? Like, how do I make it more mummy without taking away, like, the only things making it a mummy? This one is a real challenge. Like, I chose a really tough one. Or, well, I didn't choose it, but the generator gave me a really tough one. This is not going to be my finest concept out of the three, but it will certainly be a concept. I will give you that. It looks so derpy. Like I said, I can't put this at the skull at the exact angles that I want it, so it just looks so goofy. Actually, I think I gotta make this go down even more. I think that's why it looks so goofy right now, partially. And also, like, this jaw needs to go up here more. Give him more of a skull. Bro really looking ridiculous right now. This poor creature is being destroyed by my art. There we go. Okay, I got one skull. I forget, does the human skull have anything in the bottom? Well, it's gotta have something in the bottom here, because it's gotta have skin, but... You love it so- Thank you, Ocean! I'm trying my best here, but I'm really struggling, since I've never really drawn- I haven't really drawn heads all that much like this anymore. I really need to. Let's see here. So if I give this one the cheekbones that I'm looking for here, right? There we go. And then, okay, now I gotta think, because the jaw has that weird, like, hunk to it, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be the greatest concept that I've drawn in this, of all these, but it will objectively be a concept, you know? And that's good enough for me! Like I said, this is probably going to be my last one of the evening, so I think I need to make this jaw. Oh, I found somebody who did skull concepts. Yes, let's go. God, yeah, the jaw is really thick on a human skull, isn't it? Oh my god. How far back the eyes go is also like a really... Because it's not going to be perfectly humanoid, and I think that's kind of okay. Like, the uncanniness will help make it, in a way. This is not going to be perfect. I think I see what's going on. I think part of it is like this cheekbone is too high. Yeah. This one just, he looks like he's high as fuck right now. He's just like, hey, what's up, guys? And like, down here is where the jaw goes. And then the teeth kind of start like right here. I'm trying my best to, like, imagine how I think this would open, because, like, all these concepts that I'm looking at right now do not have, like, the jaws open, so I'm doing my best to, like, do it myself. So if it looks a little silly goofy, you know, sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry! Alright. The last one. Straight up, it's just gonna be side on. This one should objectively be the easiest to do. At least one would think. Hair is hard for me? Yeah, hair is definitely a hard one to do. I completely understand that. I still struggle with, like, hair sometimes, depending on what I'm drawing. Now, looking at the false Hydra here, Now, how does the human skeleton side view? Because now the hard part is going to be the neck bones. Because like I said, this is essentially going to be a mummified... It's mummified, so like you'll still see the bones and such, but like there'll still be a light covering of skin over it. And now I have to try and draw the neck bones. Dem bones, baby. This is going to be terrible, but... I'm gonna try and do it like this. This is a concept. I know he's gonna look like a spring right now, but... Trust me, it's not going to once he's, been drawn the way I want it. This is just for me to understand the depth of the neck. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna erase this partially. I'll erase the rest later once I've laid down the neck bones. But for now, this is going to kind of help me establish the depth. And some of these points, like, you won't see all of the bone. Like, you'll see some of it peeking through on some parts, but other parts will have it, like, you know, just kind of normal skin. Like, it's gonna be very dried on. Especially, like, once it gets down towards the torso here. All right. This is hurting my hand a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm going a little too ham on it. But when you're really interested in a concept, what can you do? There we go. Okay, we're almost done with the bones. Dem bones, dem bones. At least enough for the neck bones. There's still going to be more bones after this. Now, specifically, I gotta make the little sticky bits. But first, let me go ahead and try to clean up these scribbles I made. I really should have done this on another layer. I'm kind of stupid for that. Oh yeah, definitely after this concept we're calling it an evening. My hand is cramping really hard. I went too ham. I have this problem where when I get like really excited or hyper focused on a concept, sometimes I end up pressing too hard and while hurting myself like that, you know? I really don't need to press down as hard as I am. I just do. Go. Okay, if it's not perfectly cleaned up, like I said, these are just going to be concepts. These are not going to be perfect. But I do want to try to add so it's going to be essentially like you're going to be able to like see its ribs and everything. Now this one, you're probably not going to see much of these until, like, we start getting towards I don't know. So it's still gotta have flesh, you know? Are you going to add some blood? Not really, because the point of this is it's like a mummy, right? So this creature is supposed to be the mummified corpse of a false Hydra. And as such, mummies do not have fluid once they've mummified. So really, you shouldn't see much fluid on this thing at all. If any. Fleshiest bits will follow, like, right through here. All right. Man, this thing is so gross. All right. I think I already have a name for this thing, like, once I'm done with the concept. Alright, now we just need to start with the chest. So, as it is a decaying mummified thing, you are definitely going to see its ribs. And it will be extremely, extremely thin. So much so that, like, its tail is essentially just going to end in, like, the tailbone of a person. Because there's just no flesh left on it to, like, you know, hide the nature of this creature. Because the funny thing is, like, this creature's supposed to be, like, really fleshy and gross, but since I'm making a mummified version of it, it really can't have much flesh on it. Which is kind of funny. I mean, it's definitely one of my more unique concepts, that's for sure. Let me look at, like, a mummified remains, because, yeah, it's essentially just bone. Like, that's pretty much all you see is bone. Just with, like, a very, very thin layer of skin on the top of it. Like, it's kind of crazy. Alright, I need to try and look at the human hand. Human hand skeleton. I'm gonna try to simplify it as best I can because, like, you know, this is gonna get really complex if I try to do the whole ass hand. Not that it really matters, like, it's gonna look gnarled and screwed up either way, so I think, you know, not having perfect hands will make it look even cooler. Okay, now the arm bones. Little flesh there is added on top of this poor, disgusting creature. Oi. Alright. Hand, thumb. Yeah, it's kind of just like another finger. Another finger. There's something about this, like, gauntness that I'm really loving about making this disgusting creature. Okay. Human arm skeleton. I need to see the arm. Now, if I remember right, the bones are going to need to be crossed here. Is going to be interesting to try and draw. I should really make this even, like, even thinner if I possibly can. Because really it's barely just skin anymore. Like, there is skin, but it's just so small. It's basically just a skeleton. Like, this little bit of skin that it has is just stretched so thin, there's barely any wrinkles to it. It's kind of creepy in that regard. Let me go ahead and start erasing some of the bone layers here so you can't really see them. So they're supposed to be kind of like poking out through the flesh, but just like barely there. They will still meld into the flesh a little bit. All right. Let's maybe remove a little bit more of the boniness here, just a little bit. All right, and then oh, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to erase this fully here. There we go. I have some interesting ideas for the name, but I gotta finish putting on the last little bits of detail. I think this brow could be a little more pronounced on this guy. Yeah. Alright. I think I've got it. Let me add, like... I don't know if this is gonna make a little cheapness to it if I add, some bandages to or not. I don't know. Hold on. You know, let me look at the clavicle. The human clavicle as well. So I want this to still appear like spooky and creepy. Because I have a good name for this thing. Alright, let's call this the Decrepit. Right, I think that's right. Is it decrepit or decrepit? Decrepit. Right, that's the word. The Decrepit Liar. Yeah. I think there's something fun about that. Alright. And I do believe that is our creature concepts for tonight. Let me go ahead and arrange all the creatures so anybody who hasn't come in can see exactly the concepts we've made, so I'll scale them all down once I've loaded them in. So let's go ahead, scale these guys down a little bit so I can try to squeeze all three concepts in. So I'll bring Mr. Decrepit Liar over here. Put this guy up here, and I think, hopefully, maybe this one can fit over there. If not, I'll scale it down a little more and see what we get. Actually, what if I put... I think I can fit him up here, and what if I put you... No, not both of you. Just the one. Just the one guy. Fit you. I'm trying to arrange this in a way that, like, we're gonna be able to see all the concepts. Okay, that's a lot better. Perfect. Well, almost perfect. Let me scale them a little smaller. Hello, welcome, welcome. All right, so I will go over the concepts. Oh, didn't grab them. Didn't grab the last one. Whoopsies. The last concept that I had drawn here. Swoosh. All right. I think I can arrange them a little bit More over here. Grab you, pull you up here. Grab you. No, just you. Alright, perfect. So yeah, going through from the first one to the last one. First of all, we have Xenomoth here. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what Xenomoth is supposed to be. Oh my god, Gib! I just saw you! Hold on, I'm sorry, Gib. Thank you for the hydrate in the first, I appreciate it. So yeah, we got Xenomoth here. Xenomoth was a pretty fun concept, I gotta lie. I can't lie. So, if the name's not obvious, this is supposed to be a combination of the Xenomorph from Alien and the Mothman. Next we have, personally my favorite out of all three is the Abyssal Murgoat, which is supposed to be a concept between the Jersey Devil and a siren. And then, last but not least, we have our new guy, the Decrepit Liar, who is a combination between the false Hydra and a mummy. So let me go ahead. I will actually I'm gonna duplicate them so we can have them a little better. So this is I will label them to what they are. So false Hydra plus mummy. Why did I put an I? Xenomorph plus Mothman and Jersey. Here, I'll put it right over here. The Jersey Devil plus a siren. I think they all came out really cool. I'm so glad that these concepts worked out. I was worried that they weren't, but, you know, after it took a little thinking, but, you know, I think this really did what I wanted it to do and help stretch my my creativity for trying to create different concepts. The Abyssal Murgoat, yeah. Again, I'm not set on the name of the Abyssal Murgoat. Like, if you have a better name for it, please let me know, because I'm like, Xenomoth is stuck. Like, we're not changing Xenomoth. It is too perfect. Decrepit Liar, I think was pretty cool. I think is a pretty cool name for this creature, but, like, I was having such a struggle trying to think of a good name for something that's essentially just like a demonic goat fish thing. I think Abyssal Murgoat is as close as I'm going to get, but, you know, if you have a better name for this creature, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it, because coming up with names is not exactly my strong suit. So, you know. But yeah, I think that is a good place to end for tonight. I am still a little eepy. I had a very, very long day. Had to get the car fixed. Had to get Doggo a bath, which he smells beautiful right now. He smells so good. But yeah. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I will sign off with you, TikTok, first, since I can't actually raid with you guys. So I hope you had a good time. That is it for streams this week. Please do check in next week. I'm not sure what I'll have on the docket. I will try to get that posted Sunday or Monday. Oh, and I will let you guys know ahead of time, we're going to have less streams next week. We are guaranteed to only have 2. Just because my family is visiting and they will be arriving on Thursday. So we are only going to have a Tuesday and a Wednesday stream. No Thursday. Alright, but as for you, TikTok, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye! Alright, TikTok has been senteth. As for you, Tweech, it's time to send you guys off to somebody else. So, who have I not rated in a hot minute? Let's see her. You know what? Oh, you know what? I want to see this. Hold on, I'm going to send you guys over to my friend Vaughn, Vaughn AXI, who is playing this new game I've heard about called Web Fishing. I thought it looked like a really cool game. I'm going to also export this, for you guys to check out later. I I'm mostly gonna post this on Blue Sky. I'm not really posting art to Twitter right now, just because I've heard that, or at least I've read that Twitter is, taking our art and feeding it to the AI, and I am not about that life, so unfortunately, Twitter folks are gonna have to hop on over to Blue Sky or check my Discord. I will also post it there as well. But yeah, let's go check out web fishing. I hope to see you guys next week. As I told TikTok, if you didn't hear, no more streams for the rest of this week. We will be having 2 streams next week, just because my family is visiting, and I'm not going to stream when they're here. So, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.